Hey everybody. This is going to be my first attempt at trying to do a video, kind of change directions. And if some people see this, you know me as Momza. I was a TO in the Cincinnati Smash scene, head TO for a number of years. Also ran Dragon Squad Esports. So I'm not really sure if I'll keep the whole Momza persona. I already have a Twitch channel for myself. I'm not much of a gamer. I try, but I'm not very good at it. So I think I might want to like pivot directions and try like coming at it from the new bourbon enthusiast that I've become. Now a little bit of history is I've always enjoyed a good drink. And I really got into the whole bourbon thing when I went down to New Orleans in 2023 and came across this place called the Bourbon House. Well, I had to check it out, and I was in heaven. So I decided to stay. Did one of their bourbon flights. It was a local Louisiana bourbon flight that I did. And then the entire week that my brother and I were in New Orleans, I stopped by 2 more times and did their Basil Hayden flight and their Penelope flight. And that really is what kind of like kicked off my whole bourbon thing. And I've really, probably since, I don't know, towards the end of 2024, I started like ticking it up. And then if anybody follows me on Twitter, or even, if we're friends on Facebook, I have like ramped it up big time in 2025. And a lot of that has to do with, one of my favorite bourbon enthusiasts. He's actually a meteorologist on WCPO Channel 9, is Brandon Spinner. He does whiskey weather. He has a Patreon. He does some YouTube lives. He's got a Discord channel, and I took a chance and joined it and created a Patreon, and maybe I'll even upload some stuff to Patreon or whatever. Who knows? I want to kind of see how this goes, because I'm like an infant when it comes to like the bourbon world. Whereas somebody like Brandon Spinner, he's been doing it for a long time, and anytime I've tuned in to, any of his videos that he's recorded or anything like that, I always find it very useful. So I'm nowhere near the level of Brandon or even some of the other bourbon lovers out there that do the same thing. But I thought, I pivoted away from, TOing and Smash in August of 2024. And I'm just really, really into this whole bourbon thing. And it's like, you know what? I cannot be the only newbie out there. I got fortunate in finding somebody like Brandon. And I just, kind of kept discovering it, with the things that he would post on Twitter and stuff like that. And I've realized, just being a part of the Discord server that he has, the bourbon community is great. They remind me a lot of the gaming community. They open their arms and welcome people in, whether they're, expert level like bourbon enthusiast, or if they're, infant/toddler such as myself. So, support my man Brandon Spinner. It's whiskey weather. And I think on Twitter he's at WX Weather, because I guess WX is a little shortened version for weather, or maybe it's at whiskey WX. I'll get all that information together eventually, because it's kind of he kind of gave me a little bit of inspiration, honestly. So and I thought, what better way to kick it off than this is from, and I'm going to give a shout out to Blind Barrels. I found them on Facebook, and they actually send out, you can subscribe, or you can do it as a one-time thing. Because I'm just like, I always go all in if I'm into anything. So I did the subscription where every 3 months I get a beautiful looking thing such as this. And I haven't actually opened it yet. But, let's talk a little bit about what it is. So it's Blind Barrels. And I'm sorry that I have to look away. I will get a better setup eventually. I've got a whole other room that I want to get set up for stuff like this. But it's Blind Barrels, and you can get a subscription. And one of the co-founders is Bobby DeMars. He actually came up with this. And what happens is you get 4 tasting samples, which is like great, that are shipped every 3 months. So I did the quarterly. There is an annual subscription as well, but it's basically the same. It's 4 bottles every 3 months. I got this kit right away. I didn't have to wait for it, so I was very happy with that. And yeah, I'm just it's a recurring billing thing. So I haven't actually opened this yet. So let's take a look at it together, shall we? I love this box. I mean, this is a really solid. Solid box. The shipping was great. Everything was handled beautifully. So let's take a look. What do we got here? Whoa. Okay, we got a couple. Oh, look at this. Look at this. That. You see that? Look at the size of those bottles. This isn't like a little tiny sample. And it looks like this is a tasting table, where you go through the samples. I'll just read it verbatim. It says how to reveal the samples. Go through the samples once before revealing, guessing mash bill, bourbon, rye, wheat, or single malt. Proof, age statement, and tasting notes. And then after your first pass, there's actually a QR code. That'll reveal the details about each spirit. I'm going to set this box down. What's this other little handy thing that they got? Oh, a little welcome thing. Oh, and they actually, this is cool. So it says, we named release 13 Heat, as it's a pretty kick-ass follow-up to our previous Some Like It Hot release of some killer high-proof whiskeys. Not only are these whiskeys hot, feel free to add a drop or two of water to proof it down and open up even more. And you know what? That's one thing that I have learned. Party Source down in Northern Kentucky is great. And like even the people that work there, they're very knowledgeable. And one of the guys I was talking to, I think his name was Jake, was telling me put some water in it. But the key to that is, and this is the beauty about this, bourbon community, is he said you can't use like normal tap water, like, here in Ohio. Like they literally sell, and it's a decent size. And I mean, you're only putting like maybe an eyedropper full, maybe 1 milliliter of water. But it has to be the lime water out of Kentucky, which I found very fascinating. So I'm like, yeah, give me that too. Might as well. And I've been trying it lately, and it really does seem to open up sometimes when I'm like really struggling. Well, full disclosure where that's concerned too, I struggle constantly. I mean, outside of the overwhelming boozy taste, and that's the thing that just blows me away about people like, Brandon, is, he can put his nose in and everything, and he starts naming off all these. I get this hint, I feel this hint, and it's like I put my nose in, and it's like, well, all I smell is the boozy, ethanol or whatever you want to call it. So, so what does it say here? Under the radar distillery from Middle America, that's taking the whiskey scene by storm. That's one. A whiskey distilled using 100% of a grain we've never featured. Well, obviously it's never been featured for me either, because this is the first time I've ever done it. A hazmat-proof whiskey aged in the Rocky Mountains. I wonder if I should be concerned with the word hazmat in that. And our first ever repeat distillery. So cool. Yeah, I mean, a little card came with it as well. Oh, look, they even put cocktails. Oh, and a recipe for Blind Barrel's Boozy Bourbon Chili. I may have to keep hold of that. So yeah, this seems like, I mean, everything that I looked about Blind Barrel seemed like it was really cool. It came on Thursday, so you want to talk about me keeping myself in check and waiting till Saturday to try this. So let's see, what's this? Okay, yeah, just release 13 heat. A little welcome thing on the back with that as well. And so let's see. Oh, cool. So there's like cereal, vegetable, woody, spicy, roasted winery, fainty, tasty, floral, fruity. Oh, cool. And I love it. Like in the fruity, there's like stone fruit, pip fruit, citrus, exotic, and then some of the malts, oat, rye, corn, wheat, baked goods. Oh my gosh, this is all over the place. Sherry, poured, smoky, caramel, walnut, toffee. Okay. We'll see how this goes. All right. So let's get back to this. If I can get it open. But I mean, look at that. Like the whole box and everything is just awesome. I mean, and again, these are not just little bottles. I mean, like, you know, that's more than, you know, your typical 1 or 2 finger pour right there, you know. And then they say also that part of their subscription is, where did I see that at? Which I thought was really cool. You actually get, I guess, first pick of, where did I see that? These will get better, I promise. What it is I'm used to being like a streamer, entertaining streamer, having streamed Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, and then, you know, other streams that I've done, whether I'm doing a watch party or something like this. So this is a little different for me. And again, you know, I'm a newbie. So, oh yeah, you get full bottle access. So 4 tasting samples, full bottle access. You can get a full description of the whiskey and the distillery with access to purchase the full bottle with a special member discount. The tasting table we went through, and then a sample reveal video. So, cool. All right. So, I got to keep these in order. All right. So, hold on. I got to get myself set up a little bit. Oh, and I have some of my favorite Glencairns. One from New Riff. Blind Barrels sent me one, and you'll get one too if you sign up for the subscription. I mean, again, there's not enough good things I can say about Brandon Spinner. My whiskey weather, and it's so cool. You can't really see it, but it's a rain cloud with the arms up and a lightning bolt. And it's whiskey weather. Looks like he established it in 2022. So Brandon's only been doing this for a little while. I've got some of his merch. I've got some more merch coming, and I'm a Patreon member, and I love it because he based it all, like the levels of his membership. He based it all off of the Fujita scale, EF0 to EF5. So I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, so let's get this set up. I've got to. Let me move this over here. Let's get all the Glencairns set up. Okay. So, and we're just going to go from left to right. Did they put anything on the back of the bottle? Nope. Just the QR code. That'll reveal what it is. But we're not going to do that till last. We're going to see if I can do anything decent with the figuring out how it smells. Okay. Oh, you know what? I probably should have brought like a napkin or something back here with me. Paper towel. All right, there's one. Ooh, that's got a great smell. Just just like putting it away from me. It's so funny because sometimes I'm like, like, because sometimes I feel like I can smell it better for me personally. Because again, other people that I see do it, they nose it that way, and all I get is just so much of like the boozy smell, and the ethanol, as I like to call it. Okay, number 2 is in the New Riff. All right. Number 3 is going to go in Blind Barrels, Glencairn. I'm just really, really impressed with... I wasn't sure what to expect. I mean, I thought maybe they'd be the little, the little... What are they? They want to charge you $15 in Vegas for, a thing of gin that big or whatever. That's what I thought they were going to be. But, I mean, these are really nice size. Which is good, because if I really, really like one, then I can enjoy more than just a sip, right? All right, there's number 3. And then the last one, we will pour in the Whiskey Weather Glencairn. I like these Glencairns better than this one. I got this one from Party Source just because at the time I only had the one Glencairn, the Whiskey Weather one. And it's like, well, I need more because I'm kind of into this now. All right, let's see. Okay. All right. All right, since I'm a newbie, I'm going to try and see if I can pick out anything off of this with their little tasting table. All right, let's do this first one. I had my nose in it before. I got all over it. Okay. I don't know. This might be a rye blend. Definitely feel like some cinnamon, maybe. I mean, the nose is pretty good on it, though. Yeah, there's definitely a spice to it. See, this is why I consider myself an infant/toddler in the whiskey business. Because, like, other people be like, oh, yeah, there's hints of caramel and vanilla, and, I smell, this honey, and I mean, sometimes I do, but most of the time I can only pick out, like, maybe 1 or 2. So, all right, let's see. It's kind of what I would consider, I mean, it doesn't really have a whole lot of legs to it, so it's kind of thin where that's concerned. Definitely some honey, it seemed like. Yeah, I'm still getting, maybe it's ginger I'm getting. I'm definitely going to lean towards a rye mash bill on this one. Kind of peppery. I mean, it's good. So what did he say? Where'd my thing go? There was one that was An under the radar distillery from Middle America. Well, I don't know if that's the first one or not. That was just another one of the things that was included in that. Definitely some oak. I can't decide if it's like cinnamon or ginger. It's kind of, like I said, it doesn't really have what I would consider legs. So it's kind of thin where that's concerned. I mean, overall, I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, I didn't hate it. But I just wish that I could, I don't know, man. Almost kind of like, what am I looking for? Kind of like a wood or leather, maybe, to it as well. I don't know. This is where I need to like sit and like have a class with, either Brandon or go to, because I do want to do a distillery tour now that I'm into this the way that I am. I'd love to go down to the Kentucky Bourbon Festival in September, but it's the same weekend as Riptide up in Sandusky, Ohio. And my son, Scoops, they got me into the whole Smash scene because I like to watch them play. And then I transitioned to be a TO. And then it's like, well, now I don't want to be a TO anymore. I want to go back and just be able to watch my kid play constantly. And then what do? They up and semi-retire from Smash as well. It's like, really? Really? It's like, you're not allowed to do that. I mean, they're still a gamer. I mean, they're playing Rivals 2 right now, so thank God I can watch them play something. But, all right, let's see what we got here for this second one. Oh. Is that mint? Yeah. A little mint, I think. Maybe almond? I don't know. Yeah, I think almond. Or wait, maybe walnut. And I keep getting a mint. No. Maybe it's black pepper. That was very peppery tasting. Kind of a little thin again. I'm not seeing a lot of legs running down this. I see it a little bit. Still kind of like thin on the palate. Very heavy spice. I wonder if this is the one that I needed to be afraid of that was the hazmat. Because this really, it doesn't finish soft. It finishes what I would call pretty fiery, spicy. Not bad though. I mean, honestly, I haven't found one yet, a bourbon yet that I don't like. And I think part of that also is like probably back at the beginning of the year, I, decided to take the leap and like, join Whiskey Weather's Discord channel. and really just start watching more of his videos and stuff like that. And I'll tell you what, anything that he has recommended and I've been able to go and find, it has not disappointed. He did a great video on New Riff. They're down in actually northern Kentucky. Their distillery sits literally in like the parking lot in front of Party Source down there, and they had a Balboa rye release, and it's a shame because I work an 8 to 5 job, so a lot of times when the liquor drops happen, I'm at work, and it's not like I can like be on Teams with hey, I'll be back in a couple hours. I gotta go pick up this bottle of bourbon. I don't think my boss would like that very much, but and he did a short like 10-minute video because he rates them. He gives the nose a rating, the mouth feel, the finish, the palate, all that kind of stuff. And he said it was fantastic. So I'm all excited to try and go and find it. Nope, couldn't find it that weekend. However, a couple weeks ago I was down at the Party Source because New Riff released a Silver Grove. There's 2025 Silver Grove edition, and maybe I'll do another video and talk about New Riff a little bit more, since they're as local to me as they're going to get, with having to go down to Louisville or Lexington or Bardstown or something like that. And so I pre-ordered them because I wasn't going to miss out on that. And so it's like, hey, I'm down here already, I might as well go over to the Party Source. And I'm so glad I did, because I had a gold medal find that day, and there it was, like a beacon of light. The New Riff Balboa. I could not wait to get home and try it, and I'm telling you, it is everything that Brandon said it was. Whiskey Weather, just he nailed it. It was so good for it to be a rye whiskey. I've unfortunately found another one that kind of overtook that one, but we're gonna, if I like the way this goes, maybe I'll come up with like a weekly series or something where I talk about my journey so far or something like that. But I was super excited to do this blind barrel tasting. All right, so let's see, what do we got here? Ooh, that's sweet right away. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. A little bit of caramel, I think. Oh, it's really sweet. Oh, this nose is really good. What else am I getting in there, though? Maybe a little bit of... what would it be? Maybe nutmeg? Or is it clove? I don't know. I can't tell if it's nutmeg or clove. But man, that nose is nice. Now this one coats the palate, and I can see like the fingers running down the glass. That tells me it's not as thin as the other two. And just a very almost like a cherry finish to it. Going back to that sweetness that I kind of picked up on the nose. Wow, that's really good. Okay. There was a big finish of spice at the end of that one too, but not overly. And just the way it lingers on the palate and just coats it. Wow. Yeah, that one might be my favorite one out of the three so far. Yeah. That was good. Um, wow. I can't get over that nose. Oh, that is just so nice. And just the fingers on it. I mean, it's still like running down. Yeah, there's that cherry scent again. Oh, that one was good. I think number 3 so far is my favorite. Um, yeah, so I need to make some kind of a decision. And maybe I'll put this video out there on the Moms of Twitch channel. And, maybe I'll just do something different. I love the whole Moms of persona, and it means a lot to me. Especially because my son Scoops came up with the tag in the gaming community. A lot of people use gamer tags. And so it's endeared to me because my son came up with it for me. So and Mom's has kind of got a little bit of her own persona a little bit, but that's more like in the gaming area. And I don't want to, give up on the gaming area completely. I mean, again, my son still plays, at Rivals 2. And they're, a huge gamer. And I'm not going to give up on a community that embraced me, with open arms. I basically consider myself the mom of Ohio. And that's why the gamer tag that my son came up with, Moms of, fits so well. But I don't know if that still should be appropriate here. But I do. And I can rebrand, the Twitch channel, because I've never really uploaded any videos on the Moms of Twitch channel or anything like that. I kind of created it first thinking, maybe I'll come on and play games or do just chatting type things, or and then, I had to create one for Dragon Squad Esports, which was the tournament organization that I ran for 5 years, and so I focused most of my efforts on the Dragon Squad Esports, and I still got to get like some branding going even with this. I'm using a very generic overlay as I let my computer because most of the time I'm like doing stuff on my computer, so I don't ever have to worry about that. And I don't know, like, if, going in this direction, if I need an overlay or, I've still got a lot to figure out, obviously. And maybe it just becomes a mixed use channel. There's times I put out these videos about my little bourbon experiences, or, maybe sometimes I do hop on and attempt to be a gamer. I don't know. I know I do miss streaming, even though I'm not live streaming this, because I want to see how this goes and how I feel about it and if I like it or not. So I'm just recording it to decide if I'm going to upload it to my Twitch channel, and I have a YouTube channel too. So we'll see. But I do miss streaming, and the other thing is, I need to make sure I'm not violating any of Twitch's terms of service, where you're not allowed to like drink on stream or something like that, which I don't think is the case, because I know Mango has like gotten shit faced on his streams before, so I'm pretty sure it'll be okay. But I just don't want any violations against me and whatnot, and I didn't really feel like it was a good time to go live until I again figure out how I feel about all this. So okay, that is very nutty, kind of like me. Yeah, the first hint was definitely nuts. I think walnut. Maybe, I don't know. Now I'm thinking it might be almond. The nose is nice though. A little floral to it as well. See, now I got my nose in it too big. And now all I can smell is what I call the ethanol. I do like it though. Very nutty. I'm not sure if chestnut, maybe hazelnut's what I'm looking for. Very strong on the palate. Not as smooth and coating as the third one that we just tried. Maybe this is the hazmat one. What did I say? I think the second one I thought was the hazmat one. This one might be it, actually. I don't know. Yeah, it's very dry on the palate as well, and the dryness lingers. I think a little bit more than I would care for it too. So maybe that one actually, maybe the fourth one actually is the hazmat one. Okay. All right, so I can't change the order. Well, I guess I can get the little bottles out. But I think the third one, was the third one my favorite? Yeah, I really like that one because of the, like it's even hard to like talk because it just, the coating of the palate and like buttery smooth, and just, and I can still see the fingers like dripping down. Like out of all four of them, the third one definitely leaves your palate, you know, with a nice coating to it. The other three were kind of thin. So, okay, the Blind Barrels. So, and I pulled these out. So I'm going to match up the little bottles with my little Glencairns. So I like 3 first. I really do like this second one. Damn it. Shoot. I don't know if I like, you know what? I'm going to stick with my first guess. So, number 2 is in the New Riff Glencairn, which pretty much is going to leave number 1 in the plain Glencairn. Because the one in the Whiskey Weather one, this one just, I mean, it was, yeah, this has got to be the hazmat one. Wow, it kicks. So that was number 4. All right. So, oh, I don't have my phone to scan the QR codes. Oh no, what a foobar. Hold on, I'll be right back. I have returned with phone. May have to edit that part of it. And I think also what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to like take some notes or whatever so I can, because I can't remember some of the descriptions I gave for them, so I don't know how accurate I'm going to be. So let me get my QR code up here on my phone. And let's go with bottle number 1. What do we have for bottle number 1? already did. Let's see. That was actually, well, number 1 was number 3 in the thing, so it'd be sample C. Oh, wow, it's asking me a whole bunch of questions. All right, well, let's go through it. What do you think the age statement is? And that's another thing. And maybe I'll even like do a little video about some of the stuff that I've learned along the way. Like I never knew, oh, you know, well, here's a 7-year bourbon, and you know, it's like, okay, I understood that, you know, it's aged for 7 years and everything, but I didn't realize that that equals what the price of it can be. So if it's aged like 6 or 7 years, it can be $60, $70. That's why things like Blanton's and stuff like that are aged longer, you get into that 10-year, 12-year, you get over $100 and more a bottle. So that was sample C. We'll just take a guess and say it was aged 5 years. What do I think the proof is? Oh, geez. I'm going to leave that one at 80 proof. I think it's just a bourbon. You know what? I don't know that I really want to go through all this. Is there something that I can scan? Another QR code I can scan that will just tell me what everything is. Let's see what this QR code does on this one. Nope, it takes me to the same thing. So we got to go through the whole thing. Or no, I can skip the game. We'll skip the game for now. All right, so yes, I'm 21. So we did number 3 first, so that would be sample C. Click to reveal. It is, I'm already signed up with you guys. Column Still Collection Cask Strength Straight Bourbon Whiskey out of Rocktown Distillery in Little Rock, Arkansas. So that must be the one that they were talking about, is the Under the Radar from Middle America. 116 proof, 45 months, and 25 gallon number 4 char casks. Yeah. Aromas: caramel or first present, toasted walnuts, smoky vanilla, orange blossoms, coffee cake. See, I didn't get any of that. Like, how do you get all of that? Taste: black forest cake, wood presence, I did get that. The black pepper spice, I did get that. Creme brulee crust, please. I love me some creme brulee. I'd know if that was there. And then the finish is oak tannis creme brulee, warm honey and cinnamon toast. Yep, that one was my favorite. Not surprising, because I do love the creme brulee stuff. So then number 1 was the next one I liked. So that would be sample A. And this is a high-proof American rice whiskey from J.T. Mellick Distillers, 118 proof. Oh, nice, a Louisiana one. 100% Louisiana rice, 4 years old. Spicy yet creamy. Yep, I agree with that. With notes of rich nougat, marzipan, nutmeg, toffee, butterscotch, ripe peaches, dusted with cinnamon. I did say cinnamon in that one. They're saying the taste is a complex flavors of fresh baked peach pie straight from the oven, apricot, caramel butter, and toasted oak. I'll go with the caramel butter and toasted oak, because I did at least get those two. And the finish is some floral notes come to the surface, and a stringent oak element. Yep, definitely picked up on the oak element. All right, now we're at number 2. This is Holiday Soft Red Wheat Missouri Straight Bourbon Whiskey, Rickhouse Proof Holiday Distillery. Well, maybe that's the one that's out of Middle America. Well, could be either one. 122 proof, aged 6 years. 73% Missouri corn, winter wheat, and malted barley. And nose is soft cherries. You know what? I did actually pick that up. Crushed raspberries, orange studded with cloves. Hey, I said something about cloves. Red apples, milk chocolate covered almonds, and thyme. That's what it was. Pop of flavors, warm raspberry scones, apricot rich honey, rounding out with Cracker Jack and toffee sweetness with a nice black pepper tingle. Oh, for sure there was the black pepper tingle. I picked up on that. Wait, they're saying, here's what they're saying the finish is. A long and balanced finish with lingering notes of pink starburst. I love me some pink starburst, but I did not get that. Oak tannis, leaving with the impression that you just finished some delicious breakfast treat from your local bakery. Are you kidding me with that one? Seriously? Pink starburst? There's no pink starburst. And last but not least, here we go. Sample D. 13th Century Whiskey Company Toasted Barrel Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Out of Colorado, 140 proof, aged 6 years. And 2, 3, 4, and 5 cask. 1 year finishing in a 53-gallon heavily toasted char 1 cask. 88% corn, 7% rye, 5% malted barley. Yep, this is the hazmat proof whiskey. I called that one. It's like, this has got to be it. They're saying a wine-soaked oak staves, roasted cinnamon almonds, warm pecan pie with vanilla ice cream, and toasted herbs. Again, I live for the day that I can be able to describe something like that. The taste, wood presence, yes, I agree. Rich mahogany, cedar cigar box, leather, walnut skin, sarsaparilla, candied ginger, and s'mores with strawberry marshmallows. This whiskey is spicy and warming. Yes, it is very spicy. The story continues here with wood, the drying tannis, dark roast coffee beans, and buckwheat honey, reminiscent of the finish on a cask of strength cognac. Yeah, because it had, that was, hey, look, I may not be that great yet at being able to call out, palate, aroma, the nose, this, that, and the other. But I at least was like, this has got to be the hazmat one. So, all right. I think that's it for this first go round. We're getting close to an hour. I'm really trying to keep them a little bit shorter than that. Maybe I'll be more successful next time. Might do a little bit of editing to this, especially the part where I had to run out and grab my phone. But in the meantime, I appreciate any feedback that you have. I think I'll just put it up on the Momza, Twitch page, see what happens, and just kind of try and continue to build it and refine it as I go along. So if you've made it this far, thank you very much for hanging out with me. I really enjoyed the blind barrels. I can't wait to get my next one. Go check them out. Even if you just do, you can even just do like a one-time thing from Blind Barrels. Me being, the bourbon enthusiast that I am, with currently like 21 or 22 bottles of bourbon on top of my refrigerator right now. I signed up for their every 3 month subscription, but go check out Blind Barrels if it's something you think that you would be interested in, and check out my man Brandon Spinner, Whiskey Weather. He will not steer you wrong if you're a new bourbon lover like I am and just getting into it. So thank you for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Until next time.